We're respectful of his views on the trial, and we look forward to an opportunity to develop the record. We're also happy that we got extra discovery. As I said, transparency. The key here is transparency. As each day goes by, we learn more and more facts about why this isn't an issue, why this case shouldn't have been brought, and why President Trump has done absolutely nothing wrong. I think that's the case universally. I'm not going to speak to other lawsuits or litigations or investigations, but I think universally that's what we're seeing, is once all the facts come out, once there's transparency, once everybody knows exactly what happened, then they're going to see that President Trump has done absolutely nothing wrong, and these transactions were just the day-to-day business between a billionaire and his bankers and insurers.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I gotta tell you guys, I am truly enjoying this saga of watching the mainstream liberal media pontificate over whether or not Trump is going to be arrested, okay? And to watch in desperation to see him walk out of Mar-a-Lago and arrested and extradited to New York City, okay? They want to see it. However, I'm telling you guys, it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Again, I could be wrong, but I'm trying to tell you guys, I think that this is an operation from the Democrat parties and the power that be to try to get Trump supporters to act out of character, okay? To riot in the streets and to say, hey, the president's violent, his supporters are violent, January 6th, part 2, right? Unfortunately, that's not working out for them, okay? As Trump was not arrested today, he wasn't even indicted today. In fact, the grand jury hearing was canceled today, and you know who canceled it? Alvin Bragg canceled it, okay? The woke DA that's trying to go after Trump, he canceled it because apparently they have some issues with some of the witnesses and whether or not, you know, they can come in on Thursday or whatever, right? On what day they can come in. Okay, they got some scheduling issues. That's what they say. Okay, so they're going to have it tomorrow, right? So who knows? Trump may be indicted tomorrow. But apparently, sources inside of Bragg's office said that there's a substantial number of assistant district attorneys that are, quote, shaking their head over Bragg's decision to pursue Trump, right? You have some quotes like this, quote, they don't understand how this case is going forward. The source said the ADAs are not fans of Trump, but they are professional lawyers and know the law. Fox News also reported major dissension inside Bragg's office, with one source saying the weakness of the evidence against Trump was posing problems for prosecutors. A spokesperson for Bragg declined to comment, said in the email, we can't confirm or comment on grand jury matters, aka they have nothing. They have nothing, okay? And I want to talk about this smoking gun letter here, okay, that has been released from Michael Cohen that, hey, basically is even more evidence that they have nothing against Trump here. Okay, but before I get into this smoking gun letter, we need to check in on MSNBC, aka MSDNC, and how they're taking the fact that it looks more likely with every single day that Trump probably won't be arrested and they're not going to get the masturbation material that they desire. Take a look.
Through the latest where we are in Lower Manhattan, the stunning new reporting from the New York Times that Donald Trump is ready for a public perp walk. But Jonathan Dienst reporting that the grand jury is not meeting today.
Yeah, Andrea, just as we come on the air, our colleague Jonathan Dienst reporting that the grand jury won't meet today. It's worth reminding folks that all these grand jury proceedings are conducted in secret. That includes the schedule. You know, we know from past patterns that this grand jury typically meets on Monday afternoons and on Wednesday afternoons. But as is usually the case, you know, most of the time we don't know for sure when they meet until afterwards. Some of this can be based on witness availability. Some of it can be based on the availability of prosecutors or the folks who need to be in the room. Some of it can be making sure they have a quorum of grand jurors present to hear the necessary evidence. So we're working to find out more about the delay today and why the grand jury is not meeting today after they had a busy day Monday, suggesting that perhaps they were closer to the end of this probe than they were to the beginning, if and when we get to that moment. But Andrea, it appears we're at least another day off from that possibility. And I can tell you today, after what was a lot of buildup and a lot of energy around the courthouse in the last couple of days, it's simply much quieter here today. The protests that had been planned over the last couple of days had fizzled out. The kind of circus environment that follows the global media when we set up shop on a corner like this one has fizzled out here a little bit. And now we're back into a posture of waiting and wondering what, if anything, is going on the fourth floor of the prosecutor's office behind me.
Yeah, so this is how you know that the Trump getting arrested hype train is coming to a screeching halt, because CNN has now moved on to the next Trump witch hunt, which is the whole classified document scandal.
But two huge developments overnight. We're going to break it all down straight to the big news in the Trump classified documents case. A key deadline passed just moments ago at the top of the hour. Caitlin, this is extraordinary in so many ways. Can you walk through your reporting?
Yeah, and there have been deadlines that we've just hit. One that happened at midnight for the Trump team. One that just happened a few minutes ago at 6 a.m. for the Justice Department. Our colleague Caitlin Poland said they did meet both of those deadlines. And there are a lot of investigations happening here. So to be clear, there are several going on surrounding the former president. Right now, what we are talking about is the classified documents probe. This is the special counsel's investigation into the documents that Trump took with him when he left office. This is the latest. That is what's happening. At midnight, there was a deadline for Trump's attorneys who are seeking an emergency intervention. Basically, they don't want his defense attorney, Evan Corcoran, to have to go testify again before the grand jury without being able to cite attorney-client privilege, which he did previously, declining to answer some of their questions. What we were told was the 6 a.m. deadline was for the Justice Department to respond to what the Trump team had in by midnight. So we are told both of these deadlines have been met. Now it all depends on the D.C. Circuit Court. They will be making the ultimate decision here. If they do not step in, if we do not hear from him, we could see Evan Corcoran, Trump's defense attorney, having to go before the grand jury and testify again, this time without that protection of attorney-client privilege. It would be a monumental ruling.
Monumental ruling. A monumental ruling. We will see about that, CNN. Again, they're going on to Georgia, right? That case. They're moving on to the classified document thing. They're moving on past this, right? As Trump actually dropped, again, a bombshell smoking gun letter here, okay, or what appears to be a smoking gun letter. That is an admission that Michael Cohen was not reimbursed by Trump. He actually paid the alleged hush money to Stormy Daniels from his own account, right? From his own account. Okay, it was his money, it wasn't Trump money, which is a contradiction to what he told the grand jury. Okay, so again, if it's legit, it's kind of crazy, right? This kind of pokes a hole in the New York DA's case. Okay, so without further ado, let's read about this. Michael Cohen claimed he was not reimbursed by Donald Trump or his organization for hush money payments to adult actress Stormy Daniels in a 2018 letter to federal authorities contradicting his recent grand jury testimony. The bombshell document, exclusively obtained by DailyMail.com, could throw a wrench in the works of prosecutors pursuing criminal charges against Trump over the payments. Cohen, Trump's former lawyer and the star witness in the case over which Trump reportedly faces imminent arrest, claims that Trump got him to pay $130,000 to Daniels to keep her quiet about her alleged affair with the real estate mogul just days before the 2016 presidential election. So this is the letter, right? This is the letter. Now, the letter, I'm going to read it here, okay, so you guys can see exactly what it says. This is from the counsel for Michael Cohen. Okay, so I'm assuming this is his attorney. He wrote this. Now, this is being written to the FEC, okay, the Federal Election Commission, right? So this is what it says. It says, Mr. Jordan, I write on behalf of my client, Michael D. Cohen, in response to your letter dated January 30th, 2018. Specifically, this letter responds to the complaint numbered MUR 7313, which was filed with the Federal Election Commission, FEC, by Common Cause and Paul S. Ryan. In a private transaction in 2016 before the U.S. presidential election, Mr. Cohen used his own personal funds to facilitate a payment of $130,000 to Miss Stephanie Clifford. Neither the Trump organization nor the Trump campaign was a party to the transaction with Miss Clifford, and neither reimbursed Mr. Cohen for the payment directly or indirectly. Yeah, so what he's alleging here is that Trump didn't know about it, right? The Trump campaign didn't know about it, and Mr. Cohen, Michael Cohen, was not reimbursed for it. Contrary to the allegations in the complaint, which are entirely speculative, neither Mr. Cohen nor Essential Consultants LLC made any in-kind contributions to Donald J. Trump for president Incorporated or any other presidential campaign committee. Mr. Cohen has not been a government employee during any of the relevant time period. The payment in question does not constitute a campaign contribution or expenditure, and therefore the FEC lacks jurisdiction over this matter. The complainants have not and cannot present any evidence to the contrary. Accordingly, the complaint should be dismissed. Please contact me at your earliest convenience if you have any questions regarding this letter. Yeah. So, hey, that's it, right? I mean, again, if that letter is true, it's over, right? It's over for woke DA Bragg, who was really only doing this because, again, he's maybe trying to be mayor, okay? Maybe he's trying to be the governor of New York. Maybe he's trying to run for president. He's doing this for political purposes. That's why he's desperate to try to have a grand jury indict Trump. He's desperate to try to make it happen. However, he needs more time, right? He needs more time because things like this keep popping up. And if this evidence is being excluded from what the grand jury is looking at, right? If the DA is leaving this out, that's a problem, right? That's an issue, okay? So with that being said, let's read a little bit more down here. 2 months after the February 8th, 2018 letter, rumors began to swirl that Cohen might flip if he faced serious charges over his work for Trump. Quote, they're going to threaten him with a long prison term and try to turn him into a canary that sings, Trump defender Alan Dershowitz said in April that year. When testifying to the House Oversight Committee in February 2019, Cohen himself cited Trump's July 2018 meeting with Putin and Helsinki as a turning point that led to him switching sides. At the summit, Trump accepted Putin's denial of interference in the 2016 election and was widely criticized as kowtowing to the Russian leader. Angles that Manhattan prosecutors are reportedly pursuing include potential charges that Trump falsified business records by categorizing the hush money as legal fees. This would only reach the level of a misdemeanor under New York law. Other crimes, including money laundering or campaign finance violations, will also likely require prosecutors to prove that Trump knew about and directed the wrongdoing, something that Cohen vehemently testifies to. But that's in contradiction, direct contradiction to what that letter said from Cohen's lawyer. Trump's ex-attorney has testified to the grand jury, as did Trump ally Robert Costello on Monday. Costello, another lawyer who has represented Rudy Giuliani and Steve Bannon, told reporters that he testified to the grand jury about an alleged 2018 conversation with Cohen in which he claimed Cohen said he made the $130,000 payment to Daniels on his own and that it was his idea, not Trump's. Wow. Again, that goes along with the letter we just read, right? To me, that sounds about right. Okay, we have more evidence for that than we do for Michael Cohen's story, okay? Quote, Michael Cohen did this on his own. Costello said, I said, why would you do that? He said, because I wanted to keep this secret, even secret from my own wife. I didn't want Melania Trump to know. I didn't want my wife to know. Cohen rubbished Costello's claims in a subsequent interview, claiming he was using Trump's playbook to muddy the waters. Quote, I don't know what he's talking about. He's making up so many stories here, he said. Trump posted in all caps on his social media site, True Social, on Sunday that Costello would be the most important witness to go before the New York City grand jury. Cohen's former attorney, who wrote for the February 2018 letter to the FEC, Stephen Ryan, declined to comment, citing attorney-client privilege. He is no longer working at McDermott, Will, and Emery, and said he no longer represents Cohen. Yeah, so basically, it looks like this case out of New York City involving hush money payments is dead in the water, right? But again, I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not a legal guy. I'm not a lawyer, right? Take my word with a grain of salt here. But I'm just saying that it looks like the party's over, right? There probably is not going to be much that happens here, but who knows? The woke DA could go forward with it anyways, knowing that the case is extremely weak. He could plow forward with it anyways because, hey, he wants to be a superstar. He wants to be a hero for the Democrats. So who knows? Again, I could be wrong, but I'm just saying, man, this is this is not turning out the way the liberal media thought it would. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.